What are you doing, mate?
Oh my god, Aiden from NTMA Productions. What are you doing at your house?
Grant the Hierophant. What am I doing? What are you doing?
Grant, walk forward, you're not in frame.
Oh my god.
What are you doing in my house?
Why are you so close? Oh my god, I thought we could watch some movies today, like we always do.
Sure. What do you got for me?
The first movie.
We gotta do the drug deal handshake.
No. So for the first movie, I picked out this one right here. Check it out.
Kung Fu Hustle, starring Stephen Chow.
This is a movie I've actually seen many times.
I actually had seen this one before. Insanely entertaining. You don't just watch it, you ride with it, laughing all the way. Owen Gleiberman from Entertainment Weekly.
That holds up, right?
Stephen Chow, director and star of Shaolin Soccer, is at it again with his newest action-packed and comedic martial arts adventure, Kung Fu Hustle. From wildly imaginative kung fu showdowns to dance sequences featuring tuxedoed mobsters, you've never seen action this outrageous and characters this zany. With jaw-dropping fight sequences by Yuen Wo Ping,
I don't know.
Famed action choreography of Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, and The Matrix.
Oh.
Kung Fu Hustle will blow you away. In a town ruled by the Axe Gang, Singh, parentheses Stephen Chow, desperately wants to become a member. He stumbles into a slum ruled by eccentric landlords who turn out to be Kung Fu masters in disguise. Singh's actions eventually cause the Axe Gang and the slumlords to engage in an explosive Kung Fu battle. Only one side will win and only one hero will emerge as the greatest Kung Fu master of all. Meet a gang of unlikely heroes.
Boy, am I fucking excited to watch this one again.
Kung Fu Hustle. So you've seen this one.
Hustle. I have seen this one.
What'd you think of it like the first time you watched it?
Well, the first time I watched it, I was like 9, so.
Me too, actually. I don't know. I think it could be a good, easy start. Well, let's go watch it. This way.
Down to the basement.
Gonna get me on camera. Hope you'll catch me laughing at these fucking movies. Catch me giggling.
Catch him eating
Kung
macaroni.
Fu Hustle when he makes it fun.
You can just keep doing cutbacks to Connor eating macaroni.
Isn't Stephen Chow also the main character?
Yes.
Who's like his self-insert?
Yes.
Dude, I feel bad for you having to sync the footage, dude.
That's what I'm fearing the most. I'll just release it unedited from start to finish. Just drag and drop all the clips.
At least none of these movies are like 3 hours, dude. Foreign movies are either like 3.5 hours or like 60 minutes.
打爆眼嘅，你啊，細人仔，清明都未到，南褲棺材板周街啊！
Okay, so follow me the logic of this. She crashes in like Wile E. Coyote, now he's in a sign. And he goes out of the sign, and then they see somebody with a coffin.
俾肥婆早唞啊！對唔住，冇事冇事。
Dude, literally just call it best of the worst.
Just best of the worst, episode 0.
Don't even call it an episode, just call it best of the worst.
I'll make my own playlist that's like all the favorite hits.
All the best of the worst, and just stick this one.
Sneak it in.
Like 6 episodes in.
Oh my god, it's Connor Hobson from NTMA Productions. Why, what are you doing?
Cleaning the windows. It's my Sunday activity. It's for my chores.
Well, we are watching movies downstairs. Would you like to join us?
We already watched one of them.
Oh yeah, we watched one movie. Well, now that we've watched Kung Fu Hustle, how about we watch a second film?
Yeah, let's do it.
Here is the second film.
Run, Lola, Run.
This is another one I've seen.
I haven't seen this one. Winner of Sundance. Post MTV roller coaster ride Run, Lola, Run
Getting closer.
is the internationally acclaimed sensation about two star-crossed lovers who have only minutes to change the course of their lives. Time is running out for Lola. Franca Portini. She's just received a frantic phone call from her boyfriend Manny Mortiz. I can't fucking say that, so I'm not even gonna try. Who's lost a small fortune belonging to his mobster boss. If Lola doesn't replace the lost money... Wait. If Lola doesn't replace the money in 20 minutes, Manny will surely suffer severe consequences set to a throbbing techno score. Lola's run is a human stun gun. This thing's set over the course of 20 minutes?
It's an interesting film.
It's weird.
How long is
see.
this one?
I'm glad you haven't seen it yet. I don't want to say anything.
Okay, 81 minutes. Pretty fucking doable. Scooby-Doo length, dude.
All right then, let's go watch Run Lola Run.
Let's do it.
Stop following
Hey! Go away.
Dass ich deine Hilfe brauche. Dass ich sie so sehr brauche wie noch nie in meinem Leben und dass du der Einzige bist, der mir jetzt helfen kann. Hilfst du mir dann?
Werde ich auch nicht kommen und danach auch nicht mehr. Weil ich euch nämlich verlassen werde. Ich werde eine andere Frau heiraten. Na los, raus mit ihr.
Aber ich will nicht. Ich will nicht weg.
Stopp.
So good.
Lola, gehst du einkaufen? Ich brauch Shampoo.
You might as well just make a documentary film of my everyday life.
What's up, Connor? Enjoying the post-movie snack of... You know how they used to have prizes in the cereal box? I think there's a prize in this cereal box.
Oh wow, there's a prize in my cereal. Fulltime Killer. A film by Johnny Toe and Wakafi. Really, oh yeah. Hong Kong superstar Andy Lo reteams up with director Johnny Toe, The Mission, and Wakafi for a spectacular no-holds-barred cinematic extravaganza. Lau plays Talk, a flamboyant new assassin who sets out to become the #1 killer by taking down Takeshi Soramichi, a disciplined and isolated killer staged with one brilliant set piece after another. Full-Time Killer is a dazzling confirmation that Hong Kong cinema is still alive and well. Hong Kong is cinema.
Well, let's watch Full-Time Killer. Here's our movie snack.
俺は王フルタイムキラー
What is this recorded on?
Just kidding.
Actually, maybe.
Ooh, that contrast.
Yeah, I know.
Not good.
Whole bike's done. You missed it. The bike just went like flop flop and then. I have not been paying attention at all to any of this.
Yeah,
I
no,
think I
me
followed
neither.
this for the most part.
Then you're gonna have to explain the plot.
I can do the plot of this one.
Hello and welcome to the west of the Borst. Episode 1. We're still getting the hang of it. We went with the theme tonight, didn't we?
Yeah, the foreign episode.
Much to both of
And
your...
also people screaming really loud to break glass in these two.
Insert 30 clips. Okay, thanks.
And in that third one, that didn't happen.
Yeah, I was kind of disappointed that didn't happen a third time.
If it did, I would have lost my shit. I would have been like, oh. But yeah, we watched 3 movies tonight. Most of them were okay. And this is the West of the Borst. Welcome to our shitty ripoff of RedLetterMedia, where we only have one camera.
Hey, I just agreed.
Our whole channel's a ripoff of RedLetterMedia. What is Drunk View besides Half in the Bag but Drunk? And that was our flagship series for years. We've moved past it, but...
Have you seen Half in the Bag where they do get drunk? Where Mike Stelclaza drank Daniel Aykroyd's fucking vodka?
Oh, yeah, that was...
He got really violently drunk, and he was like, "Oh, fuck you."
I don't know if that was Chris Helmsworth's brilliant ad. No, fuck you.
We watched 3 films tonight. The first one was Kung Fu Hustle. The plot of Kung Fu Hustle. So basically, the director, writer, screenplay editor, I don't know.
Everything.
The guy who did everything starred in the star role as a self-insert Mary Sue. Basically, the guy starts as a schlubby person. He poses as the X Gang, which is the gang
I
of the
wouldn't
film.
say he's a Mary Sue, because he does grow, but he magically just gets his chakra.
At
It's
the
more
end.
of just a bad plot device that comes in the last 5 minutes to
Yeah.
make him a Mary Sue.
Yeah,
Basically,
But he starts out as a bumbling retard.
he's a schlubby guy, and then he starts that way, and then we open up with fucking Pigsty or Sty Place. I forget what it's called, but that's
Pigsty
where all,
Alley, I think.
yeah, where all the poor people.
It's a slum.
Yeah, it's a slum in the middle of China, and that houses secret kung fu martial artists.
Like 5 of them.
Yeah.
Right.
And basically, the schlubby guy tries to blackmail them at first, and then gets the shit kicked out of him, or he gets threatened away.
Yeah.
And then the Axe Gang, the main antagonists, show up, and then they start wrecking shit, and then the kung fu guys come out and try to defend the town. And then... fuck. Then the guy that wants to join the Axe Gang basically says, I don't want to be an evil guy anymore, I want to be a good guy. And also there's a love subplot in there somewhere about a girl and her lollipop. And then...
And he gets pee-peed on, like Donald Trump.
He's the pee-pee. He gets the golden shower. And then...
R. Kelly style.
So basically, good guy just frees the main villain who kills the other main villain, and then good guy decides he's good now, and then tries to kill the main
awakens
villain.
his magic superpowers.
Well, he doesn't try to kill the main villain. He's like, I'm better than you. I could teach you if you want. And then it's all about peace and love at the end, and then he gets the girl and opens up a lollipop shop. Aiden, what did you think of Kung Fu Hustle, your favorite movie of all time that you've watched 15 times?
It's okay. Kung Fu Hustle happens to be my grandpa's favorite movie, so I've seen this a lot.
It also happens to be my grandpa's favorite movie.
It's a good point. It's a good point. You know, I guess there's something kind of unique about it, where the bad guy, he's like a wannabe bad guy and becomes good. A lot of the action is decently choreographed. Some of it's kind of bad. There's a lot of really bad, like early 2000s CGI mixed in there for no reason.
There's a lot.
Some of it is really bad.
I would just think the Roadrunner scene. I think it's intentionally bad though. The Roadrunner scene specifically.
The Roadrunner one maybe. Some of the others not so much. Like during the intense fights where they'll just like turn into cartoon characters for a minute.
The guy with the rings on his hands. Those are CG every time.
Yeah, those looked bad.
They looked bad, but that was kind of a cool idea, at least.
Well, I mean, the guy that gets hit and then his sandal flies and it's a really bad CG sandal.
Shit feels like live action One Piece, which is sometimes a good thing and sometimes a horrible thing.
You're not wrong. Where
everyone has just like weird magic powers and kicks the shit out of each other. The movie is a comedy.
Did any of the jokes really land?
There was jokes that landed. I was about to say that.
I laughed at a few.
There are a few really stupid jokes that work for me, like the part the guy who becomes the main character at the start tries to throw knives at the landlord lady, and the first one bounces back and hits him, and then his friend tries to throw a knife and lands it in him. I laughed at that because it's stupid and funny. And when he first gets into town, he's trying to pick fights with easy opponents. And he points to some short guy and he's like, "You shorty." And then the short guy stands up and he's like 15 feet tall. And that made me laugh because it's just like really stupid. I'd say a lot of it's not funny, but it's got a couple bangers just buried in there.
I don't understand the Roadrunner cartoon shit. I know we already talked about it, but
Roadrunner shit's weird.
They keep doing that, like repeatedly.
They do a lot of weird CG. Yeah.
The sound effects are bad though.
That's kind of a theme in this series.
This fucking movie is filled with like horrible stock sound effects. It's got every stock sound effect you've ever heard, like the
cat meow,
the cat noise that's in fucking everything when the guy falls off the stairs.
I'm gonna have to call through so much footage.
And just like every stock sound effect you can imagine. I'm surprised they didn't have that goddamn creaking door one where it's like, or
the pot breaking.
Oh yeah, the Kalen Nescar.
A lot of the comedy was kind of outlandish. It's supposed to be like, woo, wacky, zany.
Yeah, it's supposed to be like goofy and stupid.
Right. It doesn't land though.
Not always, no.
Not usually. You know, it's a fine movie. I get what they were going for.
What's with the music in this fucking movie?
It was like that.
Well, like half of it was like whimsical, like elevator music during action scenes. Like they're doing these like parodies of American action scenes when like the landlady's chasing like our main character.
Mm-hmm.
And they're doing all these cool like slow-mo like American action cliches that you would see in 2004.
Like when they jump
she's
and
like
they do
jumping
poses.
through the air. Yeah, they're doing poses and shit.
All the Matrix
but the
shit,
whole time it's like fucking mandolin music or some shit. It's like weird.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's fucking retardedly bad. That's my opinion on the music.
I don't know.
I think it was a few of the jokes really did land, and I found myself.
There's a few jokes that were really funny.
I really like when she catches the axe and she's like, "You bitch."
Yeah, it's just good.
I kind of like the part where the guy gets stabbed repeatedly.
Yeah.
That's like the only thing I really remember, because I probably haven't seen this movie since like middle school.
Right.
But that's the thing I remember, when the guy keeps getting stabbed, and I thought that was funny as a kid.
Pretty good.
I've seen it so many times it didn't have
He
much
throws
of
the
a...
handle.
Yeah.
Is that the same knife? Oh, don't. He's like, oh, sorry. He stabs him again.
Yeah. There's a couple moments that are really good, and the action is generally good, but I don't know.
It's all wire stunts, and a lot of Matrix kind of feeling to it.
Yeah.
It's the same director or whatever.
It was like a fight choreographer who worked on The Matrix who helped with it, and Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, which is probably the best kung fu movie.
Yuan Wo Ping, famed action choreographer, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
I don't think it's Yuan. Usually, I took Chinese in high school for a year, but I don't remember anything. But I have a vague idea that it's probably Yuan.
But it's the same choreographer that did The Matrix. So a lot of
Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
And a lot of the choreography just kind of feels the same and similar to The Matrix.
Yeah, I mean, it's got good action. There's the occasional joke that lands, but it's nothing really like... It's not Kung Pao. Kung Pao is a fucking masterpiece of karate comedy.
We're gonna have to find clips from Kung Pao. I'll just play the whole trailer right here.
Just play the whole movie. Just put the whole movie right here.
Wow, a 3-hour upload? What's it? Oh... I don't know, I feel like a lot of the jokes were okay, and then... The Matrix scenes didn't distract too much, but it's very obviously wire fu, where it's like they're getting...
I'm fine with that. Wire fu's
yanked
cool.
on wires and shit.
Cool with that.
I couldn't really get into any of the characters. That was kind of an issue.
Yeah,
I like getting into the characters.
I was really
comedy films.
I was really confused about who the main character was, because like...
We spend a lot of time away from the main guy.
Yeah, the main guy is like a villain most of the time, and you think he's like a comedy relief villain, but then he becomes the hero at the end.
Right.
And like
out of nowhere, by the way.
For the first 10 minutes, they focus on the gay shampoo barber man.
Yeah.
and then he just like stops appearing for the rest of the movie.
Well,
and I was
thing-
like, when is he gonna come back and have this big hero moment?
Well, even his
or something?
fat friend kind of disappears like halfway through. And
Well,
you know
he
what
gets
else?
rid of him. He says, "Shoo, go start a farm or something."
Yeah, I know, but
Yeah, it's
still, he was there. But the one thing that bothers me about this movie is the editing's really weird. Like, it feels like they wrote a bunch of scenes. They're like, these are funny or this is good action. And they, like, decided what acts they were in but never made a bridge. For example, back to the Roadrunner scene. The lady runs into the billboard like a cartoon character. It's like a slapstick comedy.
She splats on it.
The guy just runs away, like our main guy. And then in the next scene, he's in like a bin of some kind over a stoplight, and he kind of just like punches it a bunch of times, then climbs out, and then he meets up with the fat guy again.
Yeah,
I'm like, what?
I don't really get it.
But this is also the part of the story where we find out our main character has ultimate regeneration karate abilities, where the guy's like,
Yeah.
I stabbed you a bunch, why aren't you bleeding or scabs? He's like, well, I recover fast. And then we find out he's really the chosen one.
Yeah,
but
they mentioned
it was
briefly
basically
at the
a
start,
cutaway
like,
Family Guy gag, is what it felt like.
Yeah,
to me.
kind of,
it does. They talked briefly at the start how
least
there's
the
like
Roadrunner.
1 in a million people who have the potential to be ultimate karate masters, and then at the end it's just him.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah.
And
it's
he's like he's definitely
like,
a self-insert
okay,
kind of guy.
Yeah.
I feel like the movie has a little bit of charm to it. I feel like a lot.
No, it has a charm.
It's definitely got like the feeling of a director who wanted to make this, not had to make it, but just wanted.
I'm
to,
not
like,
saying he didn't want to make it. I just think it's sloppy and weird and kind of boring.
A little sloppy.
It's not for me.
Well-
I could see people liking it. It's my grandfather's favorite movie,
It
so
is.
I can't give it too much shade.
It is
but
sloppy and weird and kind of boring, but there is kind of a charm to it.
There is a charm.
It does have some very brief moments.
There
and
are-
I can't bring myself to hate it.
I like
There
the
are
homage.
moments that make me not hate it, yeah.
I like the homage to The Shining where it's the blood hallway. Or
That
was
looks
it?
pretty good, actually.
Was that Omen? I forget that movie.
That was the third
That's
movie.
The Shining.
Okay, it's The Shining where he's got the blood hallway and it's got the.
That was
the third movie.
No, that was Kung Fu Hustle. Remember, he was about to unlock the last Kung Fu master
you're right.
murderer.
You're right.
Oh.
And then, like, the blood just clashes. It's like a great
Oh,
psychic
yeah, that
where he looks
was.
back and he's like, oh. I think it was clever.
Yeah.
If it wasn't an homage,
It's not so bad.
yeah. If it wasn't an homage, I would have been like, "That's pretty cool."
The movie
God,
had
if you
moments.
want to talk about fucking homages.
The movie had moments. It's not...
We'll
Actually,
get to that.
All 3 of these movies kind of have an element of homage.
Which
if you
is
think
good,
about
because
it.
this video has an element of homage, if you want to call it that.
5分鐘咋，快啲啦！
This one has the Shining reference. This one is nothing but movie references. And this one is Vertigo on crack.
Kinda, yeah.
Alfred Hitchcock's Vertigo on crack.
A little bit. I can see it.
With all the spiral
Well,
imagery
speaking
and
of Alfred
staircase.
Hitchcock, there's a lot of fucking Rear Window imagery
There is.
inspired in that third movie.
The
We'll
third
get
movie's
to it.
nothing but references.
Yeah. No, for sure.
Yeah. So any final thoughts on Kung Fu Hustle, anyone?
I think it's even though the CG's dated, it definitely does have that charm to it where I feel like a lot of it just kind of felt like a passion project by the director who was obviously trying to write himself into a cool character. But even then, you know, there's a few charming scenes, the chemistry's alright, although it's all foreign, so I can't really tell.
I mean,
it's good.
His self-insert could have been worse. At least he made
Right.
himself a bad guy and like a goofy loser for most of it until he made himself the chosen one. He wasn't just like Neil Breen who makes himself into
Jesus,
space god
literal
robot
Christ
man.
every time.
Right.
Here's what I'll say about Kung Fu Hustle. I don't like it. I borderline hate the movie. But if it's for you, you're gonna love it, or at least like it.
What about
It's
the
just
movie?
not for me.
What about the movie? Did you just not like? You just didn't enjoy it?
It's not for me. That's all it is. I remember maybe part of it's that I seen it 100 times. Like if it was my first time watching it, I'd be surprised. But I've seen this movie 1,000 times with my grandfather. It's like Christmas Vacation. Like I would watch Christmas Vacation one time and be fine with it. But my other grandfather's favorite movie is Christmas Vacation. So I've seen that movie 1,000 times
I've
too.
seen Christmas Vacation hundreds of
So-
times and I cannot watch watch it.
Right.
It's one of those things where if I haven't seen it a million times, I'd probably get more out of it. And I don't hate the film because I think there are silver linings to it. I just think it's a bit sloppy here and there. But it has its fun moments. It has its funny moments. I'm not going to take it away. But I'm just saying, like, certain people are going to like it better than me.
Yeah,
Also, we
sense.
should have watched the dub because, I'll be honest, you can't get comedic timing off of subtitles. Like, half the jokes don't land just because you're reading the fucking jokes.
It's true. We should mention, we watched all of these in subs, not dubs.
Original languages, yes.
Yes.
Which was a horrid idea. At least for Kung Fu Hustle, I think.
My original idea was to watch them all without subtitles in the foreign language and just see if we could
piece together what the fuck is going on.
I'm glad we didn't because the third film just kind of was all over the place.
I didn't understand that with subtitles.
I'd be pretty confused what was going on.
Let's be honest,
in Run
though.
Lola Run too.
The best part of Kung Fu Hustle is the really tall guy. Shit's funny.
默默嗰個係你啦，矮又要認，打下企定，出嚟啊！嗱，我生平最睇唔起啲唔誠實嘅人啊！
Our second movie of the night was Run Lola Run. It's from Germany. Kung Fu Hustle is from China. Run Lola Run is from Germany. Connor, what is Run Lola Run?
Run Lola Run is about a girl named Lola who finds out she has 20 minutes to find $100,000 that her boyfriend Manny accidentally misplaced on the train. Basically, what happens is it shows what would happen if Lola was left at a normal pace, left at a slow pace with a limp, or went at a fast pace, and it goes through 3 different scenarios on what would happen. In one scenario, she's too slow and he already starts robbing this store, to which they get chased by the police and she dies. In one, she's too fast and Manny gets hit by a car. And in another one, Manny doesn't get hit by a car and gets the $100,000 off of the hobo who stole it. And then
she also gets $100,000.
And she also gets $100,000. So then they're like, oh, we have $100,000 now. Good for us. Also, there's some plot with her dad having an affair that is slightly changed between each one. We see like these picture visions of people's lives and how they're affected by the butterfly effect. And overall, it's kind of a cool movie about 3 different potential scenarios. You know what it kind of reminds me of, if you've seen it, that episode of Community where they roll the dice to change the timelines or whatever. Yeah. The conceptual one in season 3 that came, and then they're like, we might cancel this show, so like half of season 3 was up in the air, and then it came back for another 3.5 seasons. And Community got really bad after that, basically.
Yeah.
But anyways,
that's a pretty good summary, honestly.
Who is supposed to talk about this movie? Oh, Grant. What are your thoughts on Run Lola Run?
I honestly think that it's one of those classic movies that should be on a bucket list somewhere. It should be in your top 100 to watch. Like it's definitely on that list.
It's one of those really good movies to add to that are done on like an independent budget. Like they take a little and do a lot with it.
Oh yeah.
Because essentially you have about 25 minutes worth of scenes and sets you have to set up. So really only like a third of a standard movie.
Right.
In terms of setup and sets. But then you shoot the scenes in 3 different ways.
Right. It's very cost effective.
It's cost effective, but it's still really good.
Definitely. I feel like they took their budget and I keep saying definitely. I feel like they took their budget and they did a lot with it, and you can see that in the movie how well they were using the resources.
Good ass music too.
Yeah, techno.
Fucking weird ass
German
like, house song that plays through the whole thing. That's really like energetic and fun.
I like how it's slightly remixed for each timeline too.
Yeah, you get a different track for each of the 3 runs. Basically, it starts out with the regular run, and the whole plot, like you said, is just getting money. So she goes to her dad, and then he's like, I hate you, I don't love you or your mother,
I'm
get
running
out.
away with a new girl.
Yeah.
Right. I also like another tangentially related to that. In the first one, she shows up while her dad and his lover are talking, and you learn a little bit about them there with her being pregnant, and then he leaves and all that.
Right.
The second time around, since she shows up early, he doesn't know she's pregnant.
She
so
shows
you get
up.
like
She shows up later on the second one.
Yes, yeah.
So
there's you see different parts of the dynamic between her, like different elements of the relationship between her dad and his lover that weren't there the first time, that weren't apparent.
Like the first time he's talking, she says she's pregnant, and then they get interrupted before she can
and he's
say,
like, I'm running off with you. But the second time, since he doesn't get interrupted, he's like, fuck you, I don't...
Well, the second time she doesn't get interrupted, so she says, even if it's another man's baby?
Yeah.
Right.
And he gets pissed.
You get to see different parts of the dynamic by going through it all the different ways.
It's really cool to see, like, each timeline being slightly different each, like, time you see it. So the first time, second time, and third time.
It's also cool to see a narrative crafted that is technically shorter than the film.
Yeah.
Like, the major events of this film happen over the same 20 minutes 3 times. But it's kind of fascinating because a lot of films you watch, the passage of time is either not important, at least not important enough to be specific,
right,
or passes over a longer time. I've never seen a movie before that tries to basically be like, we're going to fit our premise
into 20
minutes
3 times.
Right.
It's cool.
Like, it's a really unique premise you can't really do a second time. Like, no one else can really do this and have it feel fresh and original.
Yeah, it's one of those films where it took a concept, an original concept, and followed through with it.
Also, you know, despite its budget, there's some cool shit going on. The ambulance almost hitting the glass and it comes like that close.
They almost kill a
shit. Gives
stuntman.
you a shudder every time because it's like...
And it's literally inches.
And then he does smash the glass one.
He does smash the glass.
I guarantee that was
cool.
practical too. They had candy glass.
Oh, yeah,
and they were just like, yeah, just drive through it. Fuck it.
Yeah.
That takes some serious fucking framing and stuff. That's impressive.
That's something only an independent filmmaker could get away with. Because you think a big budget studio, they'd be like, well, you gotta have them sign some releases. You gotta have like dummies instead. Nope, let's just drive a fucking van through some glass. I don't care.
It's cool.
It's a cool film, and they do a lot with the time, like, mechanic, as it were.
Right. I also, like, you can kind of tell this movie had troubles with production, because, like, there's obvious reshoots where it's put on video.
Yeah, they have different cameras.
You'll have, like...
If this was, like, a studio movie, it bothered me, but I feel like it adds a bit to the independent charm to it.
Oh, definitely.
Where I could turn a blind eye, but you see those, like...
Some scenes are just like
shots.
blatantly shot on VHS.
There's
and they
like
look very bad.
There's like those 10-inch shots.
Reason.
Yeah.
And you can tell they don't have all the equipment because the camera's a little shakier. You can see the film grain. So it's probably they had rental equipment, had to return it, and then they're like, we're gonna just shoot it on video. But I respect that they got it done.
Yeah.
I respect, you know, and I don't really mind within the context of independent filmers. And I mean, you also got to keep in mind the time. In the late 90s, like, now if I need a couple pickup shots, I can buy a prosumer camera like this.
Yeah, like on
take
mine.
my 10-inch shots and kind of mix it in with a low-budget camera rental, and no one's going to notice the difference.
Right.
If I do some work to it. It's not as noticeable, say.
Definitely.
But... I still respect how the work that was done in this film. It's impressive.
Also, that gambling scene is tense as fuck.
It's
like
great.
Shit.
20, schwarz, fair und passt. Nichts aus der Kleinen.
Dude, German casinos are weird too. It looked like
I think it was just a high-class casino.
It wasn't even high class. It looked like a fucking probation office.
Dude, it looked like a fucking... She puts down 100 on the roulette table, wins it, and then immediately shoves her winnings back onto the same number. Some fucking gigantic dick energy. Shit's wild.
Right.
Shit's fun.
And then we also get our screaming scenes we should bring up. Lola's occasionally just screams, like, really loud to try and get, like, command a room.
Kenn ich gar nicht. Wieso stirbt der, wenn ich dir jetzt...
Like, at the beginning she screams, like, Manny to shut up, and then the roulette table she screams.
Glass breaks, and she does it again.
Mm-hmm. She does it when she finds out her father's a dick.
The landlady's superpower, her
martial art thing.
Her one-piece fruit power.
Well, she
is to scream really loud.
Yeah.
She can scream really loud and like knock people down and break glass. So we have screaming and breaking glass in both of these.
Common theme between the two. I don't know. I think Run Lola Run is just one of those great movies. You definitely need to see it. It's
shit's like mad solid.
It's amazing what they did with what I assume was probably a really low budget.
It kind of gives me Tarantino vibes too, but minus the feet, and it doesn't feel like a ripoff. Like it.
Put Margot Robbie's feet right here.
Minus the feet and minus the excessive gore.
Basically, but I mean, like how it's edited and shot. It's not like a Good Times at the El Royale where you're like, wow, this guy made a Tarantino ripoff that was okay, and then you leave the theater and never watch the movie again, because the only reason anyone watched it is because they ripped off Tarantino and everybody knows it.
Right.
This felt like it just had, similar shot compositions. I liked the characters. All the acting was really good. I mean, it was in German, so I don't know for sure. It could have been bad.
It seemed good.
But it seemed...
There was emotion.
Good. I got really invested, and I dug the... I even dug the scenes after, like, she died, or he died in the second time, where she's, like,
really
in bed with him, and it's red.
Yeah.
And it kind of talks about the themes of...
What would happen if I died?
Upon their relationship.
Yeah.
And then there's like, what happened if I died? What happens if... Yeah, it's cool.
It's really interesting.
Cool. It's well shot. It's cool.
I like a lot of the scenes where, especially at the beginning, where she's thinking, like, where the fuck am I going to get 100,000 marks?
Oh, yeah, and it flips through, like, everyone she knows really
flashes,
fast.
And she's saying, Mom, Dad...
one of the best things, between every different timeline, there will be, like, a transition, so, like... In one, she throws the red bag of money up.
Yeah. Right.
And then as the red bag falls down, it cuts back to her red phone falling down, and it lands on the thing and starts it all over.
Because at the beginning, she gets a call from Annie, and then she throws it up, and then she's thinking, and then that's what every time the new timeline starts.
The rotary phone landing back on its thing, yeah.
It's so good.
Yeah, so they always they make the transitions match that, so something falls down.
And each of this it's seamless too.
Background, yeah.
Like
it's really fast. There's like no pausing. It's just like this one's done, going back to it.
Yeah. And then like I remember the first time I saw this when she dies at the very beginning. I'm like, what the fuck are they doing? What's happening? And then like it goes to the red scene. They talk about life and death and what would happen. And then it flashes back and she's like, I don't want to die. And then she's like, no, this can't be how it happened. And then it flashes to the phone, and it's back, and it just keeps going. It's great.
Yeah, it's fun.
I also like this is kind of random, but I like the kind of Adult Swim style, or even like old school
really
MTV animation.
Yeah, the animation is really unique.
And I don't understand why they always do it on the staircase exclusively, like in the movie. Like they do it in the title sequence too.
Right.
But I thought those parts were cool.
Those are cool, yeah.
I think it's a great way. They do a lot of this where they have something very interesting stand out to like let you know it's something to keep in your mind. So the animation each time being different is how they get it to it's like here's what changed each time.
It's always like super high energy, not just like there's always like this fast-paced club music, but in like every scene Lola's basically never seen not running. There's always, something's always happening. Like, it's always just fast-paced energy, start to end.
Yeah, they established at the beginning, ticking clock. You got 20 minutes, and then the rest is just, we got to use these 20 minutes. Let's go.
Yeah, Shit's cool.
It's really well put together.
Shit is definitely cool.
Any other thoughts on Run Lola Run?
Watch it.
Watch it. It's a good movie.
It is really good.
It's a good movie. It's a good movie.
I like it.
Stop.
All right, everybody. Moving on to our next film, Full-Time Killers. So, Aiden, what's the plot of Full-Time Killers?
Okay, so
Are you getting flashbacks?
there's an assassin guy who wears masks of presidents because he was inspired by Point Break. In this one, it's mostly a Bill Clinton mask. He meets a girl at a video store. Even though he doesn't own a VHS player, he rents a lot of VHSs. And he likes her, and she wants to be part of the... She finds him mysterious and edgy, and wants to be in the danger stuff. And he's an assassin who's being hunted by China's best assassin, who is a guy with a camera. And, okay.
So far, so good.
The first assassin guy, the mask guy, wants to overtake the camera guy as an assassin. And he starts training the girl to be an assassin because she's horny for it, and I don't know.
Basically.
And they start dating, kind of, or something. I don't know. He kills some people. They have dates. Shit's weird. The fucking other guy... She's a maid for the other guy on the side. And his first maid disappeared mysteriously. She was killed by him. Oh, no. She was killed by some other people. And he tried to stop them, but he was hit by a car. And the mask killer guy really loves movies and references movies constantly, and the girl does too because she works in the movie store. And she's being a maid for the other assassin, the camera guy, and spying on him for the other guy, but then they end up in a warehouse, and the mask assassin guy has seizures when he gets anxious or something. Like, he almost gets hit by a train and has a seizure.
Well, it's the flashing lights.
And then he beats the camera assassin guy, the best assassin in China, and then for some reason he's like, I'm gonna light off fireworks, and gives himself a seizure, and then the good assassin shoots him, and some reporter guy writes a story about it.
Yeah.
So that's the story, I think.
That's pretty good.
For the most part. There's probably some stuff I missed, but that's my understanding of it.
Basically, we start off in a graveyard, and then it changes to something else, and then there's bad camera footage. I feel like a lot of this was filmed on VHS.
A lot of it does.
It must have been.
I don't think so.
Maybe just bad camera quality, digital.
Because there's like Steadicam and stuff. I think this was shot on film and then just badly preserved.
Well,
maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That or VHS.
One of the two, definitely.
It might have been. They had Steadicam and
Because
dollies
professional VHS, it could have been.
Because it was
shit.
It was fuzzy.
In Hong Kong.
It was fuzzy as shit. Like the whole film.
But then there were parts with film grain. Like they also
it's weird.
seemingly switched cameras halfway through.
Just like Run Lola Run.
Right. So there are themes that connect these three films.
These two are the camera changes. Those two are the screaming.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Anyway.
And these two have the Alfred Hitchcock, so it's a triangle.
What did you think of film, Connor?
I do not remember the
it
name.
was
Full-Time Killer.
I thought it was shit, honestly.
You were pooping for most of it.
Yeah, I actually got diarrhea from those Mike's Hard Lemonades. But I did think it was garbage because, okay, the action scenes were cool. There was a lot of cool stunts and action scenes.
Yeah.
But it was boring.
They had a lot of prop guns.
It was very self-referential. Not self-referential, it was just referential to shit. It would be like...
It was a lot of
Did you ever
references.
play Metal Slug? And the other guy's like, yes, I do, and quite enjoy Metal Slug.
Do you remember the hidden weapons?
I like
I
how they
have seen Leon the
carpooled to their...
Professional. I know what you're doing to me.
I like how he carpools with the guy at the end. Like, the one assassin carpools with the other assassin to go
They're
to
going
fight.
to battle to the death, and they're just driving in a car.
Like, how awkward is that to, like, hop in shotgun, put your seatbelt on, and be like, well, one of us is gonna die.
메탈로 수락과 데키로.
Like two elementary school kids, like being like meet up at recess
playground,
at the playground, and walking out together and talking about how they're gonna beat each other's ass.
Yeah, every
But
other
these
line
two
is
people
like a
just
reference to something.
talk about Metal Slug while they drive to fight to the death.
I remember there's a lot of bad English. A lot.
Yeah.
There's quite a lot with the
there's
police
like
officers.
that early scene where the assassin
He's at the
guy's in
bar.
the bar.
He's playing the thing
and he's like arguing with everyone.
What the fuck you think you are? Oh!
And the main assassin guy's not that bad at English. He has like some goofy line delivery.
Right.
For the kind of gigs I pulled off, I deserve double more than hope.
Oh, it's more efficient. Experience. It means less noise than you. That's right.
Everyone else is basically unintelligible and it's not subtitled.
Right.
Everyone else is like, he's like, I am action hero. And everyone else is like, Hosh, you are a bagaola. Like, I do not understand what you are saying. Please subtitle.
He's not that wrong, honestly. There's a lot of...
Like, all the extras are really bad at English.
There's a lot of bad English in this film.
There's a lot of bad English.
This is our demo. Thank you. Most of the tenants have moved out. Here's a list.
Get started to search for a bottom. Move it! Get the fuck out of my way!
I don't know. I feel like there's a little bit of charm in how low budget it was. It was just like some dudes in a camera, but then it gets to the point where they're flipping cars, or if they flip the police car and they have the huge shootout in the apartment complex.
Some crazy stunts, like when the guy did the fucking parkour down a level and shit. There was some dangerous shit in here.
Some of the props are pretty good too. The shotgun prop looks fucking real as shit. I don't know. Maybe it was real. I don't know.
It had shells that ejected and shit, and that's like rare in
It
like
was actually pretty
shotgun.
well shot, honestly, but it's just boring, and the screenplay was kind of stupid. Honestly.
There's even some interesting shot composition, like that really blue place. I have no idea where it was supposed to be.
It was like the Ironworks or something across the street from his apartment.
That shit looked kind of cool, but it was like shot on a really shitty camera, and the movie is boring and makes no sense half the time.
It was going like breakneck for a while there. It was just...
It legitimately feels like the guy who owned the video store that's featured in this movie really liked American action movies, and he's like, I'll make my own American action movie.
He
and
somehow
he did it.
received enough funding to get it done where he can blow up cop cars and shit.
They flipped a cop car. That shit was wild.
You gotta respect. They made a movie. They did something with it.
This movie feels a lot like a special interest film, and the special interest is that of the director's very specific interests.
In dueling assassons and video
references
store women and references to his favorite movies.
Do you think he had a crush on an employee of his, and he's just like, "Hey, I mean,
do you want to be in my movie?"
Like, yeah, it's about a girl who falls in love with an assassin.
That might be good.
It's pretty funny, huh? Right? And you want to go out? You want to watch it? And she's like, they made a movie. That's something. You know that they
it's
did.
impressive that they made it.
That scene where they're fighting through the...
Not good.
I could say any movie is impressive that they made it. New Mutants, it was very impressive that the guy made a fucking movie. Good job to him, but his movie was shit.
Fair.
So I still don't... I'm not going to fellatio this guy for making a film.
Excessively referential.
It's shitty.
It's
shitty. That's the word.
It's too much.
The references are like so overbearing. Like, he's teaching her to shoot the sniper rifle, and she's like, I've seen Leon the Professional. I know what you're doing. It's like, okay, I get it. I get it.
I think the apartment shootout was a really, actually kind of cool scene. They had a bunch of prop guns, they had the extras.
There's scenes that worked. That shootout in the street was kind of cool.
They had a weird guy who jumps, to the side and shoots. He, literally jumps up and to the side while he's shooting.
Dude, that part where the guy sets off the hose and the hose is flopping all over, and it's actually just a hose flopping all over.
Well, then the girl that fucking
Yeah.
die-harded and just smashed against another window, it didn't go through. That was kind of hard. I actually thought the shit with the original maid getting murdered and the assassin's rear window in it. Mm-hmm. That was kind of cool. There was it was not shot bad at all. Honestly,
there's tiny grains of stuff that works in it.
There are actually surprising, I think technically the film has a lot of aspects that work. The camera's not great. I'm guessing that's just what you had in China back in 2001.
Hong Kong.
Yeah. I don't know what the budget is on this. I imagine
not
$3 to $5 million.
Probably really low, all things considered.
And a lot of that probably went to actors and zoning.
Yeah.
Because they had to get a lot of fucking permits for this movie, but it still feels low budget.
But at the same time, they have a few
There's
shots.
a lot of aspects where they do a lot with a little, and there's some charm.
It's true.
I just can't really get behind it because it's just not super well written.
Yeah,
it's kind of a Michael Bay type issue. Or not even Michael Bay. A face swap type issue.
I mean, basically, the second the movie starts, the assassin guy's like, I love movies like Die Hard and all this, and the director just lists his favorite movies. And then he just tries to, make action scenes that are in the vein of his favorite movies. It doesn't even feel like its own movie.
Right.
And the action scenes are kind of cool at times, but that's also because they're just, knockoffs of movies that the director likes. That's the movie.
I can give them a lot of credit for the little they get right, but if this was a fully American movie, would I care that they flipped a cop car or jumped down?
Right.
How many fucking cop cars does Michael Bay flip in his Transformers movies? Yeah, I shit on all 5 of them. You know what I'm saying? He'll have a single shot where 40 fucking cop cars flip. And they flip one cop car, I'm supposed to be impressed?
To be fair, it was a kind of cool cop flip.
It was. He got up there, too. It was like... there's a lot of promise. It feels like it's all over the place.
I don't know. I feel like there's individual elements that work, but the plot is just boring garbage.
I feel like
it's so bad.
Honestly, they lean too much into the melodrama.
They tie this boring fucking plot together with a bunch of references to better things, and you're like, why am I not just watching these better things?
Right.
Well, there's also supposed to be this slight drama aspect, but I think what they should have done is they should have done what American movies similar to this did in the 80s, like Hollywood Cop or Samurai Cop or...
Gone Full Retard?
Just not take it seriously at all. This movie acts so serious, but then it's a schlocky B action movie.
Basically, yeah.
With a guy in a Bill Clinton mask, yeah.
I mean, there is the part where he's there's the main killer guy, and he kills a bunch of people in the middle of a crowded city, and then just takes his helmet off and walks back to his date in eye shot of where he just murdered 5 fucking people.
And he has the mask, and he just sets it on the counter.
And the lady doesn't even believe him, and he's all casual, let's get back to drinking coffee. No one's gonna find me literally 2 feet away.
The thing is, he also, explains to her, I took all this tobacco and I made poisoned water out of it.
Yeah, he starts trusting her really quick.
I stabbed a guy with it and injected him with it.
I have my doubts that they cleared the licenses for some of the trademark shit that shows up.
Heineken.
There's a Heineken mat. There's an entire Point Break poster with Keanu Reeves.
They even zoom in on it and show it.
They do. There's a Pikachu doll.
Or, no, there's a picture of Q.
And then there's an entire wall of fucking Snoopy action figures.
Dude, it's integral to the plot.
It's literally a main plot point.
Every time he kills someone, he brings back a Snoopy figure from that region.
Well, that's Minnesota's impact on the world, dude, is that this fucking movie has Snoopy dolls in.
Charles Schultz, what have you done?
Be proud, dude. You created Snoop.
You created this movie. It's your fault.
Snoop Dogg, dude. He had his name because people said he was like Snoopy as a kid.
Do you think Snoop Dogg could be like a... Do you think if you paid him, he would show up to like a not a Korean, but a Hong Kong film?
Oh yeah.
He'd show up and he'd be like, yo, yo.
Dude, Snoop Dogg will literally appear on songs with anyone if they pay him.
Well, any final thoughts on Full-Time Killers?
Was so bad.
Yeah, but we can all agree it has the absolute best sliding down an escalator scene in cinema.
Oh, showtime!
Oh! Chinese movie's over.
So guys, what did you think of the 3 movies we watched? Which would you say is the best of the worst?
I didn't think any. I guess Run Lola Run was the best one.
I'd say Run Lola Run, definitely.
Yeah, it's okay, great, fucking obnoxious. I don't like this one.
Yes.
So, I mean, Run Lola Run is the obvious winner tonight.
Obviously.
Pretty much the second I saw it, I knew it would be the best one, because I've seen it previously. The second I saw the movie come out.
It's a really well put together movie.
It's a good movie. Kung Fu Hustle is okay. I think it's got its moments. Natural Born Killers, what the fuck is it called?
Full-Time Killer.
Full-Time Killer. I don't like.
It was just all over the place.
IPP on this movie.
What do you think?
IPP on the movie.
Yeah. Too bad we can't destroy it. I still gotta get footage.
Oh, I have to pee really bad. Should I pee on it?
No. Should I pee on the movie, Grant?
No.
Can I pee on the movie, please?
No.
I think our universal rating is like this, you know? The best on top. Just... I think we can all agree on that.
Yeah.
Macaulay Culkin, call us.
Macaulay Culkin, do you want to be on our show with your rabbit ears?
Thanks for watching.
We run a channel called NTMA Productions where we talk about random shit. We make shit posts. We make video game stuff about stuff. We make mostly movies stuff about movies we like, movies we don't like, new movies,
old movies. We have a few shows.
I occasionally show up, yeah.
He occasionally shows up on our show.
Our shows, our various
shows up. We have a lot of shows, dude.
Hey, want to listen to some tunes?